Back at you with another client case study, and today we're going to talk about how I helped and we took Yana from this to this. I'm recording, everything is good. I've also worked on the microphone settings and placement. Let's see if the quality is better this time and I don't hit the microphone. Anyways, you can kind of get the overview basically like free here, and you can just kind of leave if you want to, but I'm going to kind of dial into the details and kind of run through exactly what we did and how long it took. And as you can tell, I've got data, I've got sheets, I've got numbers, because without tracking, without measuring, you don't know what was going to happen. Yana came to me. She wanted to get her health and life in check, and she started, like I said, on the left side. Overweight, struggling, depression, single, all these things, and work was killing her, and she just wasn't her best self. And we wanted to get her best self. Funny, because in the end, she's actually, look at her, she looks stunning. She left me. She found a man. She moved across the country. That's how well we did with the results. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little sad, but I'm very happy about it as well. But kudos to her, good job. So on the left, underneath, we have a quick little breakdown of exactly kind of like her profile and what kind of like made her. So, Yana was in the 26 to 33 age range category. I don't want to get into too specifics. I don't want to reveal too much stuff about people without their, specifics. She was in a service-based industry, so that means she spent a good part of the day walking from table to table, but it wasn't exactly like active, but it was mentally draining. Working with people can be draining and exhausting, so that's one thing to consider. We focused on gym 3 times a week doing strength sessions. So she had PT with me in person, 1 to 2 sessions, and then she would follow up 1 to 2 sessions alone. And then there was additional cardio 1 to 2 times a week, which was steady state, either incline treadmill walking or cycling, that she would do on herself. And usually on the day she didn't feel like she couldn't make it, her capacity wasn't there, she would alternate maybe a strength session sometimes or a cardio session, because the routine of going to training was more important than the actual. Um, Sometimes routine was better than just hitting strength, for example, because it was less mentally stressing. We did calorie tracking, naturally, of course. Calorie tracking and a calorie deficit was number one. It is the number one thing that you will need to do for you to get results. And of course, weekly check-ins. So weekly check-ins revolved around this, which we'll get into a second. And the last thing was chasing progress over numbers. So the biggest thing with Yana was that we focused on the strength aspect of lifting and strength training to get her to do things she could never do. A bodyweight squat that would lift half her body weight. A pull-up, we'd got to 1 pull-up. Deadlifting X amount of weights. When we set those targets, when we set those numbers as goals, it was so much easier to not focus on the scale moving up and down and then getting obsessed with the numbers, because the byproduct was the weight would melt, the fat would come off, because we had fun. Sessions were enjoyable. So we're going to kind of run into some of the stats. So we have the starting weight here. And as you can tell, what we did was we actually tracked the whole sheet. Now, this is not the best Google representation sheet, because if we look at the dates, 21 to 22, which is correct. Yeah, it's more or less it took us a year. More or less it took us a year to go from, it's like a weird graph. I don't know why it's like so dotted. This was when I was using spreadsheets back in the day. Anyways, the point of the matter is it's a system that worked. So 2021, 10/06, 95.7 kilos weighing. God, that's 5 years ago. Wow. God, feels like it's sooner. In the end, I don't even think we tracked the dates. We just kind of, it was on autopilot. You see, what I had on the left here was a thing that is important that I teach. Where's my pen? Where's my pen? I'm trying to be a teacher here. These things here. This thing here. These are weekly averages. That's what we cared about. And you see how some weeks there was a difference of 400 grams, and the next week was almost a kilo, right? So how much fluctuations matter, because if you zoom into the small picture, and you can get so obsessed about some days, you can go 94, 94.5, half a kilo down, yes, half a kilo down, yes, 200 grams down, yes, up 400 grams, no, up 400 grams. Do you see how the averages matter so much more in the big picture than the daily weigh-ins? That's what we track, daily weigh-ins. That's what we track, daily stats, because we want to see the big picture. And in the end, we got to 68 bloody kilograms. How insane is that? From 95, 96 basically, to 68 kilos. That is incredible work by Anna. And of course, like I said, I have everything tracked. So I have all these numbers and all these things, and some things are tracked in different apps, and some things I'll show, and some things I don't want to show too much. I don't know what this is. This is a timeline, but it's basically her weight. It's just Google Sheets putting everything into, there you go. Google Sheets putting everything into one for me, I guess. I guess so. Huh, interesting. Online went on there too. But there we go. I was going to show this. You see, it just kept going and going and going and going and going, and the habit was there. The tracking, the tracking, the tracking. That was the biggest difference. Sticking to the plan and not the feeling. Now, there were times she didn't stay consistent. Some weeks she only hit one session. There were times she hated it, probably a lot of times. Lunges still suck. Bulgarians and hip thrusts, they still suck. She still hates them to this day. But it changed her life to the point where she literally went from living in a basement, overworked, and hating her life to she got a man and probably raising a family soon, and got a new job and career prospects, and everything opened up and new possibilities have changed her life. That's why it's so important to be realistic. It's so important to also understand to trust the system, to have the right coaching to guide you through it. It's not just, show up and do the work, because there's so much that goes into it. Now, there wasn't a specific goal. This is an important thing I want to talk about. There wasn't a specific goal when she came to me that she said, "Hey, I want to be 68 kilos." She said she wanted to lose a couple of kilos, because it's very common for a lot of guys and girls who come to me and they say, "Hey, I want to lose X amount." And it's sometimes hard to know how much you want to lose or what's actually realistically achievable, which is totally fair. So don't stress about that too much. As long as your mindset is in the right place and you have the right focus and the work ethic that you want to get to, be a better, healthier, fitter, stronger you, then we'll get you there, or I will get you there. I promise you. As long as you stick to the plan and the systems, it will work. Anyways, you can find me on Instagram. You can send me a DM if you want to know more about my coaching. I'll leave the link in the description here. The point is, if you make a plan, you make a system, you shift your headspace to it, you can achieve it. There's 5 months left till the summer. Yeah, start now. Don't wait till the last minute. That's Janne's case study. Tomorrow I'll be back with another one. I love doing these. I think I'm really enjoying these. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed it.